Welcome to second BSc Electronics video classes. Our sixth semester paper, that is electronics, that is analog and digital IC applications. Up to now we have discussed some of the basic components, that is definition of an operational amplifier, and next what are the types, that means what are the feedback amplifiers are there, inverting and non-inverting amplifiers, and also block diagram of an operational amplifiers. Likewise, up to now some of the basic components I have covered. Now in this video I will explain about the next topics. Those are the concept of virtual ground and virtual short, and next one is the summing amplifiers or an adders, and next concept is a differential amplifiers or subtractors, and also I will cover the op-amp parameters. Okay, so now we will move to our basic concept, that is the virtual short. So here the virtual short means, according to the virtual short concept, the potential difference between two input terminals of an op-amp is almost zero. So for example, I consider an op-amp. So you have already know this concept. So I'm already explained in the last video. Here this is an operational amplifier. An operational amplifier has two input terminals. One is an output terminal. So here this one input terminal is minus, means it is a inverting terminal, and it is a plus, that means it is a non-inverting terminal. So here the virtual short means whenever this terminal is short, if in case I will take this terminal is short, automatically this terminal is also short. So that means if in case I consider this voltage is equal to 0, and also the terminal, that is minus 1 terminal, is also is equal to 0. So that is called as the virtual concept or virtual short. Okay, so according to the virtual short concept, the potential difference between the two input terminals of an op-amp is almost 0. In the other words, the terminals are approximately is equal to the same potential. So for example, here I consider V1 is equal to 5 volts. According to the virtual short, V2 is also is equal to 5 volts. So that is nothing but the virtual short. Okay, so here this is an operational amplifier. It considered as both or ideally, that means there is no input current here applying to this op-amp. So therefore the current is equal to 0, that is here I is equal to 0. Okay, so here therefore the difference between these two voltages, here VD is nothing but the difference voltage. The difference between the two voltages is equal to 0. Okay, so here the input impedance of an op-amp is ideally infinite, since the current flowing from the input terminal to the other will be 0. So you have already know, for ideally an operational amplifier, the input impedance is infinity. So current is resistance is high, so therefore the current is low. Okay, so that's why the current will be 0. Thus the voltage drop across the resistor will be 0, and both the terminals will be at the same potential. So therefore the resistance, the input resistance is also 0. That means Ri, voltage drop across the Ri will be 0, and the both the terminals will be at the same potential. Means they are virtually shorted to each other. Okay, so therefore this means these two are virtually shorted. Next concept is virtual ground. If one of the terminal of an op-amp is connected to ground, then due to the virtual short existing between the other input terminal, okay, so the terminal said to be a ground potential. Here it is also the same concept like a virtual short. If one of the terminal of an op-amp is connected to 0, that means here this is the first terminal minus that means, okay, so that means the same concept here also applying. So here one of the terminal, that means here V1 is equal to 0. So therefore the V2 is equal to 0. So the same concept will be applied at the virtual ground concept also. Okay, so now in the previous discussions we have seen already. So what are the inverting operational amplifier and non-inverting amplifiers? Those all already discussed in the last sessions. Now we will see the adding of a how an operational amplifier will be acts as an adder. Adder is also called as a summing amplifier. Okay, so here now we saw previously in the inverting operational amplifier that the inverting amplifier has a single input voltage, that is Vin, applied to the inverting input terminal. If we add more input resistors to the input, each equal to the value to the original input resistor, we need up the another potential amplifier circuit called a summing amplifier or a summing inverter or voltage adder. Okay, so operational amplifier, it can also be acts as a summing amplifier. Okay, so here this is the circuit diagram of a summing amplifier. So in that summing amplifier, we have to connect the more number of inputs to the one input terminal. So here all the resistors are connected to this only inverting non-inverting terminal. So that means resistor 1, resistor 2 and resistor 3. So those all are connected to the inverting terminal. In this simple summing amplifier circuit, the output voltage V out now becomes proportional to the sum of the input voltages. So those input voltages are V1, V2, V3 and etc. Then we can modify the original equation for the inverting amplifier to take an account for these inputs. Okay, so I consider for this summing amplifier the three inputs are applied to this operational amplifier at a inverting terminal. Okay, so the current flowing through this feedback resistance, what are the feedback resistor are used in this summing amplifier? The feedback current IF is the sum of all the currents. So that is I1 plus I2 plus I3. So here we know it is a negative signs. Why? Because it is a non-inverting, that means it is an inverting terminal we are using. Whatever the feedback, we have to connect that feedback to the inverting terminal. So here current from the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So I is equal to V by R, that is V1 by R1, V2 by R2 and V3 by R3. For inverting equation, we have already know this equation. In the last presentations, we have discussed this equation. This is a inverting gain. So that means the gain of an inverting amplifier is V naught by Vi is equal to minus Rf by R in. Okay, so therefore V naught by V in, that means V in is goes to this side, therefore the equation can be written as minus Rf by Rn into Vn. This is the gain equation for the inverting feedback amplifier. Then therefore the minus means here the minus sign will goes to this side, therefore we will substitute these values. Okay, so therefore minus V out is equal to, so that means here Rf by Rin into V1, and next one is R2 into Vn into V2, and another one is Rf by Rn into V3. So likewise, by using this formula, we have to write the total output voltage at the output of a summing amplifier. Now, if all the input impedance, that means resistance, are equal in values, we can simply the above equation to given output voltage is, if we common the Rf by, if we common this R1, so that means Rf by Rn we will common, therefore minus V out is equal to Rf by Rn into V1 plus V2 plus V3 and so on. Here this is a final equation for a summing amplifier. It is very important equation, it is very easy derivative part. Now an operational amplifier circuit that will amplify each individual input voltage and produce an output voltage signal that is proportional to the algebraic sum of three individual input voltages, that is V1, V2 and V3. We can also add more inputs if required, as each individual input sees their respective resistances are in as the only input impedance. So here the finally the summing amplifier output is, so Rf by Rin, that means the sum of the all the individual voltages, all the input voltages of our amplifier. Okay, so here this is about the summing amplifier. Now we will move to a differential amplifier. The differential amplifier amplifies the difference between voltages, making this type of operational amplifier circuit a subtractor. So therefore the another name of a differential amplifier is a subtractor. Okay, so don't confuse subtractor or a differential amplifier, both are same. Here the summing amplifier is also called as an adder. That means it will add the sum of the input voltages at their output. But in this differential amplifier, it will gives the difference between the input voltages. So that's why it is called as a differential amplifier. Okay. So here we will move to the basic definition of a differential amplifier. A differential amplifier amplifies the difference between two voltages. Okay, so that is called as a differential amplifier. That means here the differential amplifier will amplifies the difference between the two voltages. That means it will produces an operational amplifier, it will produces the difference output. Okay, so here this is a circuit diagram. So in this circuit diagram, we will give applied input voltage V1 and input voltage V2, and it has a feedback resistance R3. Okay, the input current is I1 and I2, and IF is a feedback current. And also here A is nothing but gain of an amplifier. Okay, so here it is used a negative feedback amplifier. So negative feedback means the output is given to the inverting terminal to as an input with a feedback resistance R3. So that's why it is a negative feedback amplifier or inverting amplifier. Okay, so we will draw the derivative part of this differential amplifier by connecting each input in 0 volts to ground. We can superimpose to solve the output voltage V out. Then the transfer function of a differential amplifier circuit. Okay, so by using the above circuit, we will find out the transfer function or the gain of a differential amplifier. Here I1 means here I1 is equal to V1 minus VA divided by R1. How it will becomes? At the input resistor we are applying input resistors, that is I1, input current is I1, and the input resistance is R1, and here the V1 is applied voltage, that means input voltage. Here VA is whatever the point we have considered a node. Okay, so depending upon the node current we have to find, that is V1 minus VA divided by R1. This is a current flows in the R1 resistor. Okay, and next coming to R2 resistor. This is an R2 current, that is, this means this is a resistor, and this is an amplifier. So here we are connecting, here this is a VA. Okay, so therefore this is I1 current, therefore I1 is equal to, okay, so here this is applied voltage V1 minus VA divided by R1. So likewise, therefore this is the current through this resistor R1. Okay, so here this is V1 minus VA divided by R1. And next coming to R2. So that means next resistor is R2 resistor. The current is I2. Okay, so the resistor is R2 and the voltage is V2. So then we find out, so here this is a VB. So therefore the current in this terminal, that is resistor R2, is I2 is equal to V2 minus VB divided by R2. That is V2 minus VB divided by R2. So therefore this is IF. IF means a feedback resistor. Feedback current, so here also here VA is there. Feedback means we are connecting a feedback like this, so here this is a VA, and this is RF. We have to connect this with this is RF. We will find out the RF current here. Therefore, IF current. So, IF is equal to VA means here this is a VA. So, therefore, VA minus here feedback, also a negative feedback. That's why it will be converted like this. So, therefore, minus of minus V out divided by, this is a feedback resistance, that is R3. Here R3. So, likewise, we will write the equation to these three resistors, that is R1, R2, R3. So the flowing of a current in R1 resistor is V1 minus VA divided by R1, and I2 is equal to V2 minus VB divided by R2, and IF is equal to VA minus of V out divided by R3. So here why we are using, it is a negative feedback, that's why we are using VA minus V out divided by R3. So summing point, here the summing point is what? So here the summing point is so whatever that means here VA is there, VA and VB, these two are the summing points. So therefore at summing point we are considering also a virtual ground concept also, here also we are considering virtual ground concept. So that's why here VA is equal to VB. So VB is equal to V2 into R4 divided by R2 plus R4. Okay, and if V2 is equal to 0, then output voltage V0 is equal to, so V1 into R3 divided by R1. If V1 is equal to 0, therefore V out is equal to V2 into R4 divided by R2 plus R3 into R1 plus R3 divided by R1. Okay, so these are the values we have to substituting. So V1 place V1 is, one time V1 is 0 and once V2 is equal to 0. We are substituting V1 and V2 values, we get the output voltage, that is minus V out is plus V out is equal to the total output voltage is appeared at a difference output. Okay, here the difference output is that is minus V1 into R3 divided by R1 plus V2 into R4 divided by R2 plus R3 into R1 plus R3 divided by R1. Okay, so when the resistors R1 is equal to R2 and R3 is equal to R4. Okay, so therefore the above transfer function of a differential amplifier can be modified. That means we have to substitute R1 is equal to R2 and R3 is equal to R4 in the above equation. Therefore, the final differential equation is V out is equal to R3 divided by R1 into V2 minus V1. Here it is a difference. V2 means V2 minus V1. V2 is a non-inverting amplifier input and V1 is a inverting amplifier input. So therefore the differential amplifier equation is V out is equal to R3 divided by R1 into V2 minus V1. Okay, so this is a summing amplifier. In this way we will explain the summing amplifier. Okay, summing amplifier is also called as a subtractor. Okay, that means it will produces the difference between the two input voltages. So that's why it is also called as summing amplifier or subtractor. Okay, now we will move to the what are the important parameters. This is one of the important question for your exam point of view. So those all are the op amp parameters. So there is so many number of op amp parameters are there. So some of the important parameters we will discuss here. So here first one is a CMRR. CMRR means common mode rejection ratio. And next coming to the second one is common mode input voltage, CMIV. And next one is input offset voltage. And another one is input bias current. And next one is input impedance. And next one is input offset current, output impedance, and next one is a slew rate. Okay, so these are the important parameters. One question, that means a 10 marks question will be appear for your exam point of view for these parameters or a characteristics or some of the specifications. Okay, so here some of the important characteristics are common mode, that means CMRR, common mode rejection ratio, common mode input voltage, input offset voltage, input bias voltage, input bias current, input impedance, input offset current, output impedance, and next one is a slew rate. Okay, so these are the important parameters. Now we will see our step by step. First one is common mode rejection ratio. So the common mode rejection ratio is nothing but it is a ratio between open loop gain to common mode gain. It is nothing but a common mode rejection ratio. The ability of amplifier to reject the common mode signals, that means unwanted signals. So what are the unwanted signals to reject while amplifying a differential signal? That means here what is the use of our operational amplifier? The operational amplifier which will amplifies the input signal. That means whatever the input signal we have to apply, that input signal will be amplified. That means the amplitude levels of that signal will be increased. So that is nothing but an operational amplifier. So we will discussing about a common mode rejection ratio. So what is the capability to reject the unwanted signals? Whenever an unwanted signal is coming to an amplifier will not amplify that unwanted signal completely. It will reject that signal. So how much capability it has an operational amplifier to reject that signal, it will be explained by using a common mode rejection ratio. So here the basic definition of a common mode rejection ratio is it is a difference between open loop gain to a common mode gain. The higher the CMRR, the better in which open loop gain. So that means the common mode gain is very less when compared to open loop gain. So then only the CMRR gives very much high accurate result. The higher the CMR, the better in which the open loop gain is high and common mode gain is low. Here the CMR is usually expressed in decibels, decrease with the frequency. Here the CMR can be expressed in the decibels. The actual formula of the CMR is 20 log of AOL divided by ACM. Here this means it is a ratio of open loop gain to common mode gain. Okay, so next one is input offset voltage. Actually, so what is meant by an input offset voltage? Ideally, the output of op-amp is 0 volts if the voltage of input is 0. For example, small DC voltage will be appear at the output. For example, when we are giving zero voltage to the input, to the one of the input of an amplifier, actually what will become? The output is also 0, but it will not 0, but a small amount of voltage will be come. Thus, the differential DC voltage is required between inputs to force the output to 0 volts. So, when you are applying of an input is equal to 0, the output is also 0, but it will not come to 0 because of some DC level is added at the output. So therefore, by removing of this DC level, some external voltage is required to uh, uh, to the output to get the 0 volts. So that's why this is whatever the some extra voltage is required to require a 0 volt at the output. So that required output is called as a offset voltage. Okay, so the range of an offset voltage is 2 millivolts or less. Okay, so here these are the offset input voltage. I think clear it is. So what is meant by input offset voltage? Whenever an operational amplifier is there, when we are applying of a 0 volts as an input, actually the output is also 0, but it will not get a 0 outputs because of some DC voltage is added, and some small amount of DC voltage will be appear at the output. So to getting of an output is also 0 volts, some external DC voltage is added to that input voltage to get output as a 0 volts. So how much of voltage are added, how much of DC voltage is added to get a DC output? So that is called as an input offset voltage. Okay, now we will move to the next parameter, that is input bias current. Actually, ideally, the current should be 0. So why? Because the input resistance is very high, infinity. So that's why the current in the input side is 0. The DC current required by inputs of an amplifier to properly operate the first stage. That means what amount of current is required to operate an operational amplifier, that is called as an input bias current. That means we have to drive the operational amplifier. That means whatever the input we have to apply, that input is drive to the current. That means whatever the current will drive to the output. So that current is called as input bias current. So here the input bias current is the input bias current is expressed as here IB. Okay, so here this is a input bias current. Okay, so therefore that is input bias current is equal to, so IB1 plus IB2 divided by 2. So here this is a input bias current. And next we will move to the input impedance. So here input impedance. So what is meant by input impedance? So input impedance is very high in an ideal operational amplifier. Okay, so is the total resistance between the inverting and non-inverting inputs. So total resistance between inputting and non-inverting inputs. So the difference input impedance, the total resistance between the inverting and non-inverting inputs. The common mode input impedance is the total resistance between each input and ground. Here there are input impedances, means the difference, how much resistance will be there, the total amount of resistance to between two terminals is called as input impedance. For difference input impedance, the total resistance between inverting and non-inverting inputs. But in CM input impedance, that means common mode input impedance, the total resistance between each input and ground. Okay, so here this is a input impedance. Next one is offset current. So what is meant by offset current? It is the difference of input bias current. So offset current. Let's discuss offset voltage. Offset voltage means you have to drive the output. How much DC voltage is required? That is nothing but offset voltage. Now we will discuss about the offset current. offset current is nothing but the difference between the two inputs currents. So that means here this is one current, that is I1, and this is another current, this is I2. So input offset voltage is expressed like this, that is V out is equal to, that means I1 minus I2 into some input resistance. But input offset voltage is expressed like this, that is I1 minus I2. So therefore thus it has an error of AV into IOS into RN. Here this is input offset current. Okay, so likewise we have to represent the input offset current and input offset voltages. Okay, so now next one is a slew rate. So what is meant by a slew rate? So this is also an important parameter, that is it is the maximum rate of change of output voltage in response to a step input voltage. What is meant by a slew rate? When we are applying of step input to the operational amplifier, what is the maximum rate of an output? It is called as a slew rate. So that is change of an output voltage with respect to applied input voltage. That applied input voltage is a step input. That means whenever you are applying of a step input, here this is a step signal. Okay, so this is a step signal. When you are applying this step signal to the input, so what is the response of this output, of the output response of this amplifier is expressed, is called as slew rate. Okay, so actually when you are applying of input as a step signal, it will also a step input voltage resulting output voltage, it will also give a step input, but it is also a increased step signal. Okay, so therefore the slew rate formula is slew rate is equal to change in output voltage with respect to step input voltage. Okay, so here this is called as a step. Okay, so where V out is equal to V maximum minus of minus V maximum, that means it is a change in output voltage. Next one is coming to the slew rate diagram. Here it's a measure of how fast the output can flow the input signal. So that is called as a slew rate. It is a measure of how fast input can follow the input signal. It is called as a slew rate. Okay, so likewise we have to write the all the parameters of an operational amplifier. Okay, so up to now I have discussed what is meant by summing amplifier and what is meant by a differential amplifier. So those all topics are covered in this video and also parameters are covered. Okay, thank you.